Hello YouTube, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I don't know if this is going to be a short video or a long video. I just know that I need to talk to someone. I really need to talk to someone because the beginning of 2021 has been very, very challenging to say the least. And yeah, I've kind of been going through it. So sorry for not uploading or being as consistent as I would have liked to be, but I just have been really going through it, and I wanted to sort of give myself an opportunity to mentally be in a space where I can talk to people or be in a space where I can make videos, because for the longest time I haven't been. I really, really haven't been. To be honest, I'm probably still not in the right space. But we move. We definitely move. I'm not going to go into too much detail as to what's been going on, but I do want to touch on something. So a couple of days ago, or about like a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I spoke to a trans woman here on YouTube. Her name is Lene Marie, and she's absolutely wonderful. She has a YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. And she also has a podcast called Authentically Us. So you can check out her podcast on Spotify. You can also check it out on like Google Podcast. Anyways, so she invited me on her podcast. So we were talking about Valentine's Day. Now, so many people of trans experience find dating difficult, or find looking for someone difficult, or find Valentine's Day just in and of itself to be very, very challenging. Because I think on Valentine's Day, you are reminded of the fact that you're alone. Valentine's Day really does remind you that you're alone. And I think for some people, it's really, really difficult because we were never built to be alone. We were never designed to be islands. You know what I mean? I think being in a relationship and being in love and having somebody who appreciates you, who listens to you, and who values you is such an important part of the human experience. But sometimes we can't find that in other people. Sometimes, despite how much you try and how much you put yourself out there, you don't find that love in another person. So then you are just left by yourself, essentially. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because in the moment when you're still dealing with being single, in the moment when you're still dealing with not being in a relationship, you can use this time to learn how to love yourself the way you wish you could be loved. You can, in this moment, start to adopt practices that make you feel good, healthy practices that show that you are appreciated. You can develop ways to love yourself. Now, I am the queen of self-love. Like, were it not for my affirmations or just me trying to always continually be positive, I would not have survived a single month of transition. Never mind like 7-8 years or however long I've been on this journey. I wouldn't have survived. I simply would not have survived. So my advice for any trans man or any trans woman out there who's feeling alone, who's feeling unloved, you need to start with yourself. You really, really need to start with yourself before you can ever expect love from anybody else. Because the thing is, when we give the responsibility of loving, when we hand that over to somebody else and we say, you are the one that will appreciate me, and you are the one who's going to show me that I'm special, we become disappointed time and time and time and time again. Because guess what? In the trans dating world, there's so many men that want to sleep with us, but none of these men seem to want to date us. And we are left in this unique position where we are almost passed around from these different guys, and each and every time we get passed to the next guy and to the next guy, you sort of enter that new relationship or that new situationship or that new interaction with the hope that maybe this guy is going to be different. Maybe this girl is going to be different. Maybe this is the one who's going to finally appreciate me. Maybe this is the one who's going to finally understand. And when we enter relationships with that mindset, we are continually met with disappointment. I'll give you an example of myself. So I talk to a lot of different people. A lot of different guys try to talk to me because I'm trans and because they find me attractive or for whatever reason. But more often than not, the guys that come into my life seem to only want to sexualize me. Now, I've been lucky in the sense that I've met a lot of guys that are at least nice about it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that most of them just want to sexualize me. So I've had to get to a point where I don't look at men as though they have the answers for my healing. I don't look at men as though they're the ones that are going to help me get over this pain. In other words, I don't go to the hardware store for milk, because I know that if I jump into relationships with this idea that I'm going to be healed, that somehow things are going to be better, that somehow I'm going to be whole as a person, I know that I'm going to be disappointed. And I know that I'm not strong enough at this point right now in February of 2021. I'm not strong enough to deal with that because I'm dealing with so many other things. So the past couple of months have been really difficult for me. I've really, really struggled. I'd say the past 7 to 8 months have, without me even realizing it, have really been one of the worst, or have really been the worst in my life. Now, I'm busy. I'm busy on WhatsApp. Like, I don't want to laugh because this situation made me so fucking mad at the time. Like, I don't want to laugh. But we face these situations so often that you end up just laughing at these dudes. You end up laughing at them because you're just kind of like, fucking hell. Like, this has to be, I don't know, some fucking Twilight Zone. Anyways, so I'm on WhatsApp and I get a message from this boy. He noticed that I haven't been on WhatsApp, or I haven't been active in a couple of weeks. And he's all like, hey, I really miss talking to you. I hope I can hear from you again. So I respond to him because I feel bad because of my inconsistency on social media. So I respond and I'm like, hey, what's up? Let me actually pull this message up. Why am I getting mad? Girl, I'm all over the place. But anyways, let me pull this message up. He sends me a message asking about my inconsistency. And, ew. And sorry, I'm seeing other gross messages from guys. Anyways, so he sends me a message and I respond to him. And I say, I want to read this verbatim. I said, oh, I've just been a little bit down, but I'll be okay. So he responds and he asks me, okay, what's wrong? So I'm like, to be honest, it's not anything that can't be fixed right now, but I move. It'll be okay. I just have to get this day over with. So I didn't really want to get into what was happening because this boy cannot help me. You know what I mean? You know when you talk to somebody and you're just kind of like, even if I were to tell you this problem, you're not going to help me. You can't help me. You literally do not have the means to help me. This is something that I need to fix by myself on my own. You know what I mean? So, anyways, he responds and he says, okay, dear, well, I hope you're okay. Cool. I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. Thank you. So then he's like, the hell is he asking me? Okay, this is where he becomes stupid. He's just like, it's just I miss you so much. Our communication hasn't been as frequent as what I would like. So can you see how he's completely disregarded the fact that I've told him that mentally I'm not in a good place, that I'm not okay, and he wants to harp on the fact that I'm not speaking to him as frequently. So I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. I'm just going through a really dark period in my life right now. So I'm not talking to anyone, which is true. I am going through a really dark period. I don't even understand why I have to explain myself to this boy. But this is where he pissed me off. So he's like, okay, I see, no worries. And he's like, but I do miss you. And I'm like, I miss you too. Then he responds with, I'm so horny right now, baby. With heart, heart, heart. And I'm just kind of like, y'all don't even understand. I was at the point of tears. Not because of this message, but because of what was going on in my own life. I was in such a like depressed state that I didn't really want to talk. And I was so overwhelmed with my own anxiety and with my own pain and just not seeing a way out of the situation. So when you're in that state of mind, the last thing that you want is to be sexualized. Because when somebody sexualizes you after you have told them that you are not in a good space, after you have said with no uncertainty that you're going through a dark period in your life, for somebody to then throw you with a dick pic, or throw you with I'm so horny, or throw you with I just want to like see that chocolate ass, or you know what they say to us. So I respond and I'm like, and I did put in there just so he can see how stupid this message is. So I was like, so Luke, I'm real. So I'm like, so I'm like, so I'm really in a bad space emotionally. So I'm not in the right mental space to be talking about sex. I just want to backtrack and say he's a lovely boy. I have nothing against him. This is not an attack on him specifically, but rather, I just want to show y'all what we deal with. I really want to show y'all what we deal with. And this is why like I've kind of given up on guys. Girl, I left that train a long time ago. Like, I still hook up with guys, but I'm just not like, I don't have the hopes that I'm ever going to meet someone. And I know that sounds terrible or it sounds super pessimistic, but I just don't have those hopes because I get messages like this all of the time. So it's not even specifically him. I'm not even specifically angry at him. I'm just angry that we live in a society that has sexualized trans women to such an extent that they are dehumanized. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that I've become so sexualized to the point that I'm no longer human. I'm simply something to just something to tick off on your bucket list, a sexual endeavor or a sexual experience that you just want to have. And it's not him. It's not only him. There's so many other guys. Like, I could go through my phone and show you message after message after message. And like, look at this one. Again, same thing. I'm sending voice notes. And the one voice note, okay, this guy, he got me on a bad day. So on the one voice note, I'm literally like in tears. You know what I mean? And I'm telling him, like, I'm so depressed. Like I can't deal with the sadness that I'm feeling right now. Tell me why he sends me a dick pic. Tell me why he sends me a dick pic and then he says, horny, thinking of you. Now, ordinarily, if you send somebody a voice note and you say, oh, I'm depressed, I just feel like I can't go on anymore. Like I'm so emotionally frustrated and I'm so drained. Ordinarily, somebody would come back to you and say, oh, I hope things are going to work out for you. I'm thinking of you. Nobody sends their penis. Nobody sends their penis. Nobody. And the annoying thing is, ooh, girl, like, the annoying thing is, over and above all of this, over and above all of it, the annoying thing is, you will get guys who, like, so I am queen of being blocked, re-added, followed, unfollowed. Like, a lot of guys that are into trans girls, when they interact with me, they will, it's almost as though they'll be obsessed. And I know it's not that they're obsessed with me. They're obsessed with what I represent. You know what I mean? And when I don't live up to their expectations, or when I don't want to play their game, you know what I mean? Because I'll admit, you know, like, if I meet a cute DL boy, I have been known to dip my feet in there. Just, you know, every now and again. But it's usually a one-time thing. Like, if I meet a boy and I see, oh, he's DL, he's DL, he's DL, you know, if he's hot, like, I'll hook up with him once, and then I'm just kind of like, I got what I needed to get. Let me get out of the situation. And ordinarily, that's what I do. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not going to make it seem as though I am innocent in this. You know what I mean? Yes, I do interact with them. And yes, I do have conversations with them that are sexual, that are adult in nature. But my point is, when you're talking to somebody, like, I don't know if it's the same for cisgender girls, but when you're talking to a guy that's serious about you, surely the conversation should be more about getting to know you as a person. Yes, there'll be a sexual aspect and a sexual element because we're adults. Come on. But there should also be a part of the conversation, or a part of the back and forth, where the other person shows you that they are interested in you as a person. And I find with a lot of these guys, I don't really see that. And, you know, when I show them that, no, I'm not just going to be having sex with you left, right, and center. I got what I needed to get. And I can see you're not interested in getting to know me. So I am stepping out. So when they see that, when these guys see that, that's when they block me. That's when they unfriend me. That's when they unfollow me. And then 2 months later, they're back. They literally are back as though nothing happened. They add me again. I go to my Instagram and I see, oh, this person's following me again. I go to my Facebook and I see this person added me as a friend again. And I'm just kind of like, I can't. I can't. If I'm going to be able to survive my life, if I'm going to be able to get through my trauma, I cannot invest any type of energy into these guys because I'm already dealing with enough. And I feel like as trans women or as people of trans experience, we deal with so much. We deal with our own internalized um, dysphoria or our own internalized transphobia. We deal with family rejection. We deal with the trauma that came from being bullied. We deal from the trauma of being ostracized. And, like we deal with strangers being rude to us on the street. I don't still want to deal with a man who doesn't respect me. You know what I mean? And I think my biggest issue right now, or the biggest thing that I'm really struggling with and really, really trying to work on, is learning how to love myself truly and authentically love myself. I want to get to a point where I can just love myself and support myself without any prerequisites. I don't ever want to get to a point, or I don't want to be at this point where I say, I love myself because I'm beautiful, or I love myself because I'm thin, or I love myself because I'm college educated, or I love myself because I'm kind. Like, I don't want to justify why I love myself. I just want to get to a space where I can just love myself. And it doesn't matter how much weight I get. It doesn't matter how dark my skin gets. It doesn't matter if I have a boyfriend or if I don't have a boyfriend, or where I am in a relationship spectrum. I love myself because I deserve to be loved. So that's what I want from me. And if that's what I want from me and that's what I expect from me, bitch, that's what I expect from these dudes. That is what I expect. If I'm ever going to get into a relationship, let's just say one day I get into a relationship and I meet somebody, cool, whatever. I need somebody who's just going to love me without any, you know what I mean? And not have to justify why they love me. And I'm just trying to get to a point where I can heal myself and I can soothe my own pain. For the longest time, especially when I was a teenager, and even now, I just wanted somebody that was gonna wrap their arms around me. I just wanted somebody that was just gonna wrap their arms around me and tell me that they love me and that they care about me and that everything is gonna be okay. That's all I ever wanted when I was a teenager. That's all I ever wanted when I became an early adult. When I became an early adult, and it just never happened. I had to I had to give myself the very same thing that I wish that I could have gotten from other people. And it's not fair and it's not right. You know what I mean? But this is where we are. This is where we are. And if this is where we are, we need to try and find a way to make it work. We are the men and the women that are thrown away by our families. Our mothers give birth to us and they throw us away. We are the ones who get bullied from grade 1 up until grade 12 with no stop, going into university. We're the ones that, literally, y'all don't understand my level of anxiety. And it came from transitioning because I would get to a point where I would be so anxious I couldn't get out of bed, or I couldn't go to the freaking grocery store to go buy milk because I just didn't want to deal with people. And I'm just trying to get to a point where I can heal that. And I realized that healing feel like that healing is going to have to come from me and no one else. Yeah, you can have friends that understand you, and you can have partners that love you as you walk on your journey. But at the end of the day, like, you need to be the one that loves you. You need to be the one that encourages you. You need to be the one that supports you. And once you get to a point where the responsibility or the onus of responsibility rests on you and not on any man, that's when I really feel like we'll have freedom. Because right now we don't have freedom. We're trapped. We are trapped by our bodies. We are trapped by this misogynistic, transphobic society, capitalist society that we live in. And we're trapped. We're trapped by these stupid ass DL men who act like they want to be with us when they don't. When they don't. We get sold all of these dreams. All of these dreams. We get sold the whole Disneyland fairy tale. Girl, I'm done. I'm done. That being said, if you guys ever see me with a guy on this channel, just let me be. But at this point in my life, at this point in my journey, I'm trying to work on myself. And me working on myself doesn't look like me having a man on my arm. I'm not at a point right now where I'm looking for somebody to save me. I'm trying to find the strength within myself to save myself. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, I literally... I don't want to get emotional in this video. But, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know that I'm going to try. Even though loving myself as I am is hard, I'm going to try. Even though supporting myself sometimes is hard, I'm going to try. You know what I mean? Yeah, so... Oh my gosh, I didn't want to get emotional on this video. But the point that I'm trying to make is, it gets hard. It really, really, really gets hard. But deep inside of you, there is a power, there is a strength that can get you through anything, that can help you overcome any storm, any disappointment. You have the power, you have the strength inside you to somehow get over it. To not only get over it, but to thrive. And even though things have been hard, this is not the end. It's nowhere near the end. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my little rant. I don't know if I'm going to post this video, but thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much, and we're going to get through this. I don't know how, but we are literally going to get through this. Both of us, me and you, we're going to get through it, I promise. All right, love you. Bye.